Hey there, it is Phoenix Amore. So now you see when I talked about that growth I was doing spiritually, and my name went from what? I can come back full circle to the intelligent folks. Intelligent folks only. Please listen to what I'm saying. Not pop culture concept mother that are trying to steal concepts and all that when reality was I couldn't care less when you had somebody in a movie that says she learned a math equation. I can't care. You guys make things so complicated to the point you shut people down like me. That's why I said social media is annoying, because you'll have those people try to relate and interject themselves, and I'm like, I'm trying to tell you now, once all this comes out, people would understand it a little bit better. Intelligent people. The rest of y'all, please just go. So here's where I come back to the whole parable about the X-Men thing. When I first talked about the whole X-Men thing, I talked about the genetic aspect of Jean Grey already having certain spiritual abilities. Omega level. That is science speak. So you have some people who did not get it, and the real cartoony people, La La Land people, dinky people, were like, oh, she's really into... No, no, no. When God was speaking to me in parables, I knew when I started researching all that stuff, you have to wait for them to catch up with you. And some of y'all not even supposed to be on the same track with me. So just move around. That's what I'm saying very, very clearly again. But the reality of it is, when we talk about omega level, it's deep. That's why I put that one line in there. When God says, this is you, you are nurturing all that stuff. But having to deal with being intelligent amongst some people who just don't comprehend it, it's very annoying. And then if you pop off because they go, ha ha, he, she's not making sense. To you, I'm not making sense because you're not on my level. And then some of you are so egotistical when I say that, you want to start stuff with me. And that's the dumb part. That's why when I got off social media and with all that crap and people are like, oh, she must be weak and all that. See, that's what's so cool when other grown, mature people come out and say, y'all sound like some little idiots right now. When you have somebody keep saying, I'm telling you, you're not on my level. What she mean, rapping, blah, blah, blah. You're not on my level was literally omega level, genetics, intelligence. Now these scientists come out with this study, and they're schooling you fools saying, yeah, intelligence is built into DNA. I already knew that. That's why I kept stressing. All of these folks with these college degrees and the master's degrees and the PhD, they gonna freak out when that information starts coming out, because they're so used to throwing that paper in your face. Like, this is what I know, this is what I know, and I went to school and I earned this degree. That is basically saying that you have a tenacity to you to finish school. That is not a sign of intelligence. People need to basically understand terminology a little bit better. Tenacity just means you have the ability to stay in school because somebody told you that's going to be the representation of some sort of achievement. It is. It means that you can stay on the path for a while. That's not a negative trait. That's just what that means. That means that you could grasp certain concepts taught to you. But when they're talking about intellectual, and I need people to go look that word up, intellectual, intelligence, IQ, all that embedded in DNA, that's what I'm talking about. So I haven't taken an IQ test in forever. I know the last time I took it, maybe I was 10 or something, I had like a 134, 140, something like that. I can't even remember. I just know it was saying something about mathematician or something, whatever category it fell in at that time, but I haven't taken one since then. But when I talk about the experience, when I woke up with my head hurting and I said I had to process all that information, that was very real. And it's like I was sorting out all this stuff. This is where I talk to some of the parents that have genius level kids. For real, when you think about the parable of X-Men, it was working with these, what people would deem mutant would be what the scientists just discovered, where it's like, dang, some people have extra intellectual intelligence genes. That would be considered a mutant because it's a little bit different. But in reality, they've just now discovered those genes are there. So anybody else outside looking in would look at me, quote unquote, like a mutant. I mean, that's real when you understand terminology. So this is where I'm going with this whole thing. When there was a line in there, when I said teach mind expansion like Obi-Wan. You cannot teach cocky folks. You see, you'll have the folks that instead try to compete, or they'll try to prove that you're crazy, when in fact now you have some scientists that know she was right all along. So all this stuff finally coming full circle. I'm glad to have had that happen, but I already knew. This is why I can stay so grounded in what I was seeing. So naturally, you know, this is an Indian clay because I still have to have my skin clear, and I still have to worry about my hair. But I had to go ahead and verbalize and put this in video so people now, the ones that were joking and ha 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 and all this la la land stuff that they were on, I can kind of say to you in video, like I said before when I said people weren't on my level, rather than being petty and being like, oh, she's cocky and all that. You see what kind of society that we've created right now. You have coddled people. You have basically made people feel like if they're not quite like you. So you have all these artists that are basically marketing and branding, and it's pathetic. And that's what I was saying. It's not going to be beneficial because it does spill into the sports where people are willing to lie and pump somebody up when it's like, that's why I said, what are the facts? So me even putting the video where I'm like, you really are willing to even lie to try to prove me wrong all about politics. Y'all better start separating it, because America had gone down real quickly. I showed you in every arena, from science to athletics. Now, when you go, what's going on with the track runners? What's going on academically with Americans when they go to these competitions or whatever? I just showed you. We had a whole era of an administration that coddled people and focused on the wrong thing, sometimes to try to make themselves seem more intelligent or that they had all the right answers. All, of course, because they have degrees and they know everything. So I'm inviting people to separate again politics from science. Is the beautiful thing. Take care.